rang, and I knew it was the hunt because who else was going to call me at 1 in the morning? And it was Dr. Moran from Children's Hospital, and he said that there might be a heart available. I was so excited and nervous and scared, and all my emotions were all going crazy. He said it was a match, and he told me to get to Children's Hospital as soon as I could, because the heart is in, and I'll have it by the end of the day.
Kenny was one of thousands of people on a waiting list for a life-saving organ transplant.
The organ donor program has given me a second chance at life and really gave me hope and faith in this world we live in.
What helps to make transplants possible are the organ donor banks located across the U.S. and around the world. But without the organ and tissue donors themselves, these organizations wouldn't be able to save the lives of those in need. Kara Lang's dad died of a heart attack when she was just 16. She talks about her family's decision to donate his organs.
It was a really easy decision for my family to make because we had talked about it beforehand, and we knew it was what he would have wanted because he was always willing to help other people.
Although the benefit of the organ donor program is clear, there are a number of misconceptions about the process.
Families have all sorts of questions around end of life in general, very specific to organ and tissue donation. Sometimes they have questions of, will we be able to have a viewing at the wake? And the answer to that, of course, is yes. This is a surgical procedure that nobody will ever be able to tell whether their loved one was an organ or tissue donor.
Do religious organizations support organ donation?
All mainstream organized religions support organ and tissue donations. They consider it a generous act.
Will the doctors let me die if they know I'm an organ donor?
An emergency room physician or nurse, first priority is to save a person's life. The furthest thing away from their mind is the fact that this patient could be potentially an organ or tissue donor.
Will it cost my family anything to donate?
Organ and tissue donation is completely free. A donor's family is not charged at all for donation.
Is a rich person more likely to get a transplant?
Organs are given to people who are in need of them the most. The sickest people are in line for organs first. Your race, gender, celebrity status has nothing to do with it. It's absolutely done by medical need only.
Is donation emotionally painful for the donor's family?
We often find that families who give the gift of organ and tissue donation at such a difficult time in their lives might not always see the benefit of it right away, but weeks down the road, months down the road, years down the road, when they can sort of sit back and look at the fact that they have offered somebody the gift of life and other people are living because of their loss, it's miraculous, the feeling that it can give donor families.
We received a letter from the New England Organ Bank telling us that my father was able to help 30 people with his donation, ages 10 to 75. We actually had this letter on my refrigerator for months, because when we walked by it and saw how many people he was able to help, it really gave us solace and consolation.
Allison Lindgren became an organ recipient at the age of 11.
When I was 1 year old, I was at the doctor and they noticed something funny about my heartbeat, so they checked me out and they diagnosed me with restrictive cardiomyopathy. I became very weak over the summer between 6th and 7th grade, and they put me on the transplant list. From there, I just got weaker. So on October 28th, I was brought into the hospital and they moved me up on the list. My cardiologist announced that they found a heart for me, and on the 30th, I went through surgery and received my new heart.
Today's young drivers are safer than ever with seatbelt laws and airbags to protect them in the event of a crash. At the same time, the need for organ and tissue transplant increases daily due to a variety of diseases and conditions. Unfortunately, 16 people die each day waiting for a transplant, which makes it critical that more people sign organ donor cards and talk to their families about their decision.
I think it's really, really important to talk to my family about my wishes and to keep talking to them about my wishes, because ultimately they're the ones who make the decision. because I'm not going to be there to make the decision if the time ever arises. And I think it's really important that my parents know, or my next of kin know, what my true wishes are.
When I got my license, a little organ and tissue donor card came in the mail, and I filled it out, and my parents were very supportive of that.
I've wanted to be an organ donor for as long as I can remember, but I know that when I was 16 and I went to go get my driver's license, and they asked me if I wanted to have a donor sticker on my license, I knew that I did. Because my family, we had talked about it, and I know death sometimes is a hard thing for families to sit down and talk about, but my whole family wants to be an organ donor.
I do encourage people to become organ donors. When they look at me, I'm living proof that this organ donor program works.
When I have a chance to fill out my donor card, I'm going to, and my parents already know that I want to donate what I can. I mean, it can save a lot of lives.
Very often I'm asked, what is the benefit to me to become an organ and tissue donor? And I simply tell people, you know, what if your grandparent or parent or sibling or even best friend needed an organ or tissue transplant? You would hope that there would be people that would be willing to give to them. And I think the best thank you for that, whether it happens or not, is to give the gift of life yourself.
Organ donation is the gift of life, the greatest gift.
It's our responsibility to help other people, and there is no gift greater than the gift of life. And I see nothing that you're losing. I see only that you're gaining and helping other people.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who signs organ donor cards, and it's a very important program, and it saves people's lives.
We decided to leave a candle in one of our windows to be lit every night for the donor's family, so we would not forget, and we won't forget.
There aren't words that can adequately express how thankful we are for what they did in a time of crisis.
And it's all worth it, I mean, because, I mean, if I didn't have a transplant, I wouldn't be here.
On behalf of the Lions Club, we urge everyone to consider becoming a potential organ and tissue donor. Talk to your family. Call the organ donor bank nearest you with any questions. They'll be happy to help you. Thank you. This program was made with grateful assistance from the New England Organ Bank. You can reach them at 800-446-NEOB or on the web at neob.org.